All right, folks, so it's time for us to start thinking about glazing. And I know it seems like I'm getting ahead of ourselves. We are going to learn about glazing in this class, whether or not you yourself are going to be doing the glazing. But some of the parameters are a little bit different. So in our studio at YVC, we have big 5-gallon buckets. We have maybe 25 of them, and we mix them locally, and we use that locally mixed glaze for all of our work. We also fire to cone 10, which is a little bit hotter than we're going to fire in this class, because with fewer people, I can't fill the big kiln. Anyway, you care about all this, I'm sure. But what that means for us is that I haven't actually used these glazes before. I bought us a variety of glazes. So I got each of you have 4 jars of glaze. Sorry, somebody has a broken container, but it just has a little crack in it and it's bagged up. What we have is 4 glazes that can be mixed together. They can be used in combination. They are designed to be fired to cone 6, which is what we'll be firing to. We have ultramarine blue. We have this plum red, which kind of breaks and has a couple of different colors as it melts down. It's not just a pure red. It gets a little purpley in there. We have this ivory, which is a frost series, which means it's a little bit matte in texture. And we have this cola green, which is, as they've explained it to me, neither cola nor green. I don't know. I know the colors don't look like, this looks ivory, this looks red. It will not stay this pink. It will not stay black. It will not stay gray. They're going to change as they get put on there. The cola green one in particular, they've told me changes. It depending if it's thick or thin, the glaze is going to be really different. And a glaze like that is lots of fun on a texture. So if you have a texture on your surface, some of these glazes, and particularly the cola green, probably less the ivory, more the other two, will look a little different on the thickness. So because I haven't glazed with these glazes before, I want to run 2 firings the next time you bring stuff in. So we're going to do a bisque firing of the work folks bring in maybe around week 5 or 6. And we're going to do a glaze test at the same time. And so glaze tests are usually done on small pieces. So what I did is I made 4 little cups. The reason I made these little cups, besides, being the pinch project, is because glaze acts differently when it's on a flat surface or down the side. It acts different when it pools, and it acts different when it moves on that vertical surface. We're going to fire them in the kiln straight up like that. But the glaze will act different in these different places. So what I'm going to offer that you all can do, that might not be a bad idea, is to make some what we call test tiles. So these little bowls function as test tiles, but you can also make test tiles with slab or pinch. And I'm going to show you the absolute easiest way to make a pinch tile, and that is it's got to be able to stand up in the kiln, all right? And then I like to put a little bit of texture on it, so I squeeze it with my fingers like that. And that's a test tile. Gorgeous, isn't it? Beautiful little thing. But what we've got here is it'll stand up on its own. It's not super thick. I want it to be thinner than my thumb. In fact, I might squeeze it a little bit smaller than that, because it's not a very big kiln I'm gonna fire. And that allows me some space for it to be vertical when I glaze it, it's vertical on this space. Now, it doesn't allow me much flat surface area. Another way people sometimes do this is they roll out a flat slab, and then I'm just gonna pinch a flat slab, I'm being lazy. If you would like to roll slabs, we're gonna do that in project 3, but you can get a head start on it. You have a rolling pin, that's what the PVC pipe is. Make sure you roll it with canvas under and above it. So fold the canvas over if you only have one piece. But then I'm going to take this piece of slab and fold it over, and what I've ended up with is a test tile that has a vertical, and then depending how much, I didn't leave much room. Depending how much room I leave, it's got a vertical and a horizontal space like that. And then I can put some glaze here, and I can put some glaze here. Now, it's not gorgeous. but that's okay. We're less worried about the tiles being pretty. We're more worried about having some surfaces that we can play with. So it's not a bad idea to draw some lines or some wiggles or roll some texture or something in on the surface of your pieces. You can make them prettier than mine is here, but that allows the glaze to kind of pool down in the textures. And of course, that's why I have the rolled texture on the outside of these. So if you would like to make test tiles, you can make either of these kinds or these kinds. You are welcome to put glaze straight onto your pieces and skip the bisque firing. But I'm just gonna, in the first round, I'm just gonna run a small test of the test tile. So the kiln is literally smaller and I will run that one. If you'd like to, you are welcome to make the test tiles and put the glaze on. So these jars of glaze, make sure your lid's on tight before you shake it up. But these jars of glaze can be painted on using your brush like this. And I think I'm going to get them shaken up really good and then get set up to paint them onto these pieces in a separate video.